Hey, this is Joe, and I'm going to walk you through my link tracking tech tip number 3. This one focuses around the original 2 tech tips that show how to do link tracking on generic URLs in an application. The first one, the first application I wrote was pretty straightforward. It basically just took all your URLs and stored them in a database, kept count on them, and built a report. The second tech tip I wrote included a way to do filtering on those so that you can do a subset on your result set. The third one I've done today includes being able to have some more granular control about what URLs are actually submitted and which ones are actually stored in the data. So I'll give you a show on how I did that. The iRule itself is right here. I've called it tt.link tracking. There's several pieces to the iRule. First is the main control switch that comes in. If you're going into link admin, that builds the report form. So there's a bunch of content value here, which is the HTML page that I generate, and it works through, and I'll show you what some of these things do. And then it essentially does a respond to the client and ends a connection there. So when you go into the application, it serves up an application page. I've got a few other commands. Clear data, which clears all the data out of the database. Remove data removes a single database entry. Clear filters. Filters are the new feature I've added in this that include URL pre-filters. There's a command to add a filter and to remove a filter. So clear erases them all, add adds a new one, remove removes a single one. And you'll see how I implement these is all with the table command. Like clearing the data out of the database is just a table delete command with a subtable and the table name and all, so that erases everything. To be able to add a value, like add a filter to the filter table, I extract it from the end of the URL, so the values passed here go into the value of f, and if it's not an empty string, I do a table add, and it adds it to the table, and then I redirect back to the link admin page, which generates the form. And then at the very end, as we go through all of these, if it doesn't match any of my defined commands, it falls back to the default case, and in the default case is where I do my pre-filter matching. So a URL comes in, it's not one of my special ones from my application, it's going to the back end application. I look, and by default I'm going to match, so I will insert it in the database. If it finds entries into the filters table of the filter values, then we go and we're not going to match, and we loop through all the filter values, and if we find one, then we will. So if there are no entries in, we'll match on and we'll insert every value. If there are some entries in, then we default to inserting none until we find a match in the filter. And you'll see that I use the string match command that allows us to do wildcards. And we'll work our way through here. And finally, if we get a match, do the same thing I did in the original. The original iRule application was just this command in the default case. So that's essentially it as far as the iRule goes. I'll show you how the application works. Here is the page. Let's go ahead and I'll delete all of the pre-filters. You'll see there's like 93 URLs. I'm going to clear the data, refresh the page. So there's nothing in there right now. Let's load up the home page, and you will see, if I refresh here, you'll see a bunch of URLs that came in. There's the main page's URL and a bunch of other ones. We can do a forced reload, which will pull down a whole bunch of other things. You'll see all the other things that were cached in the browser, the JavaScript files and icons and images and all of that. So you'll see we've got right now 52 links in there. That's a lot of stuff, and as the application grows, there's going to be a lot of things in there. So what I'm going to allow you to do is add filters in here. So let's clear out all the data, and I'm going to add a filter, start at JPG and start at PNG. Okay, and then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click the home page, and there's still nothing in there because I didn't do a full refresh. If I do a full refresh here and then refresh the page, you'll see just PNGs are displayed in JPEGs. So this is a really simple way for you to add pre-filtering, so I can track only certain types of URLs that come in and store them in my result set. That's it for this tech tip. We will follow this up and possibly be doing a few more down the road.